a true pioneer who joins us next. The first woman to receive the Pete Rozelle Award given by the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Also a member of the Sports Writers and Sportscasters Hall of Fame. An absolute legend in her own right. Please, a warm welcome for Lesley Visser.
I remember one Christmas in New York, he gave all my girlfriends the Madden Cruiser, and there were about 15 or 20 of us. And as the bus was pulling away, John was yelling in the middle of the street, "Any of you single girls who can't get lucky Christmas week going around on the Madden Cruiser to bars, you are losers, losers." Here's the man who
over an illustrious career that spanned 4.5 decades and is still going strong, Lesley Visser has set the standard and paved the way. She began writing for the Boston Globe in 1974 after winning a prestigious Carnegie Foundation grant. 2 years later, she became the first woman on the NFL beat, covering the New England Patriots. Over the next 12 years, she built her strong journalistic reputation while navigating an overtly discriminatory media landscape, often being shut out from locker rooms and equal access to players.
One of our sports analysts, Lesley Visser, became one of the very first female sports journalists in the United States. This is back in the 1970s. Back then, the press box in a sports stadium had a pretty simple rule: no women and no children. Well, Lesley changed that.
Lesley Visser rejoins us now with a look at the drive.
Transitioning to television in the 1980s, she became the only sportscaster, male or female, to work the network broadcasts of the Final Four, the Super Bowl, the World Series, the NBA Finals, the Olympics, the U.S. Open, the World Figure Skating Championships, and horse racing's Triple Crown.
Jam Bob Knight is here. Bob, how were you able to defeat Temple?
We scored more points than they did. That's something that you may have missed in the news media, that the team, when the buzzer blows...
How did you... CBS sent me to the fall of the Berlin Wall, which was, of course, the story of the century. I watched people who walked from Dresden and Potsdam for days through the Brandenburg Gate just to taste freedom.
One day, athletes from East and West Germany might compete for the same Olympic team. Lesley Visser, CBS Sports.
Among her trailblazing efforts, she became the first woman to present the Lombardi Trophy at a Super Bowl, to work as an NFL analyst in the broadcast booth, and to work on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Working the sidelines, Lesley Visser. Hi, Lesley.
Thank you very much, Al. Really glad to be here.
She was also the first woman to go down the Olympic bobsled, invited by the U.S. team in 1992. In 2006, she was the first woman inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Please welcome to the mound, Lesley Visser.
A cultural icon, she was even the first female sportscaster to appear in a Super Bowl commercial.
Okay, Mike, through the tunnel, off Lesley Visser's head.
Pressure on the quarter. What was that?
Always a storyteller.
Just 30 years from communism, there is no freedom of the press. You should be able to have a dialogue with someone. Is this possible? How could I do it? How do I start?
Lesley has been just as prolific in the last decade, whether it be engaging with the biggest personalities in sports.
Hey, Lesley, you know I love you, girl.
It was the first ever game, men or women, played on Parisian soil. Our very own Lesley Visser reported from the City of Lights.
The U.S. Ambassador to France, Denise Campbell Bauer, lives in this beautiful, nearly 200-year-old residence. But long before she became a diplomat, she was a strong advocate for women.
Well, there is this idea of sports diplomacy, which, as you know, has been a pillar for the State Department.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lesley Visser. It's been 10 years since 12 women took the stage right here in Studio 44 at the CBS Broadcast Center in New York with one dream: to do something that had never been done before. And together, we did just that. We created the first ever nationally televised sports show, hosted, produced, and directed by women.
Lesley, who, like Madonna, only goes by one name, she kept leaving messages for me, and to hear this from her was so meaningful. As I've always said of Lesley, the doyenne, she's number one, and I'll ride shotgun with you anytime, babe.
I watched how other journalists did their job. I followed Lesley Visser around like a little puppy dog, and it was later Lesley who said, you know what? You should think about being a sideline reporter. So Lesley, I know you're here tonight. I'm not here without your kindness, period.
Do you get tired of listening to all the firsts?
No. I mean, I'll repeat this again. I always say, nobody landed on Normandy by himself.
Now, Lesley adds one more first to her resume. The first woman to win the Sports Emmy Lifetime Achievement Award.
I would like to ask you all a favor. Would all the women who are in this industry, whether you worked with me or not, in any capacity, will you stand and share this with me? Please, thank you. And we'll celebrate each other.
Lesley has not only opened doors, but she knocked them down. And she always did it with integrity, compassion for everyone around her, and a great sense of humor.
I really don't know where we'd be without Lesley Visser, but I'm glad she came first.
Any woman who ever aspired to do what Lesley did probably got the idea from Lesley. And I'm not sure that you can give any higher praise than that.